it's a little bit too big, right? So, and if I use a scale of 1:2, the drawing is a bit too small. So I'm going to create a scale that is kind of in between these two. So I'm going to create a custom scale like how we did for lab 1. So I'll use a scale of 1:1.5. Okay, let's go back to our model space, and we'll try and change some of the line types. Like I said, these are center lines. So we're gonna have to use center lines for these lines. And these are all hidden lines. So we'll have to change the line type to hidden lines for these lines. But before we do that, we have to get rid of all of these overlapping lines. Like in my case, I have a short line here and then a longer line here. You know, they're all over the place. So I've got longer lines, short lines lying on top of each other. And the problem that this poses is when you have two lines on top of each other, you change the line type for the one line and you have another line on top of it that has a different line type, your line type changes won't be able to be seen. So what we have to do, we have to delete all of those lines that are lying on top of each other. To do that, highlight your whole drawing, type in overkill, and then click OK. What this does is it combines collinear objects, combines collinear objects when they overlap, when they're end to end. You know, if you want to know more about what this actually does, you can actually Google it. There's a long description on the parameters of getting rid of duplicate lines. So again, I'll select all, type in overkill, hit enter, and then click OK. What that does now is it gets rid of all of my short lines. So I'm only left with the long lines. Now I can change my line types. So if you go up to your properties, you have your line weight, which is the one we changed last week. And we have our line type underneath it. So if you click on the by layer, these are the different line types that we have loaded into the software already. What we need to do is we need to bring in the center line and the hidden line as to make them options. So we'll go to other, click on load, and look for center line and hidden line. All right, so we've loaded in our center line and our hidden line. So again, properties, the line type, we'll click on the by layer, go to other, load, and then look for center and click OK, then look for hidden and then click OK. If you go to properties and by layer, you'll be able to see that you've successfully added your center and hidden line into one of the options that we can use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the setting for just one of my center lines. And then I'll basically copy that setting and apply it to all of my other center lines around the drawing. So I'll start with this center line. I'll click on it, type in properties. And over here we have the line type scale, the line weight, and other properties, general properties. What we're going to change the line type from by layer to center. We'll change the scale, because if you look at your drawing now, even though you've changed the line type, it's really, really small. The gaps are really small. It doesn't look like the drawing. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the scale of this line type. So I'll increase my scale to maybe 10 or 12, whichever looks best. And then I'll change my line weight to 0.05. All right, again. So once you've loaded in your line types, so once you've loaded in center and hidden, you click on the line that you want to change, type in properties, and then you change the line type to center, you change the scale, and you change the thickness to 0.05. didn't change, but you've already made the changes. Okay, so what that can mean is that you have lines that lie on top of each other. So like if I were to now draw a line, say that was here, it basically won't show the line type because there's two lines on top of each other. What you have to do is you have to get rid of the line that's lying on top of the other one. Okay, if you use the overkill command and it still didn't work, then maybe you might just have to delete the two lines that lie on top of each other and try and redraw it again and then add the property to that line. The overkill wouldn't command, there was only one line. Okay, then maybe your line type scale is too small. So if you've selected your line and you type in properties, you've changed this one to line, you'll change your line type to center, have you? All right, have you changed your scale? Okay, and you are saying it's not showing in the model space or it's not showing in the layout space? Like in the layout, it's not showing, or in the model it's not showing? Model space. I'm not quite sure. Without seeing your computer, it's a bit difficult for me to be able to diagnose what the problem might be. Only solution I can have for you is to maybe delete the line and try and redraw it and assign the properties again yourself. Don't redraw the whole thing, just that line. Okay, so I've changed the properties for this one line. Now I need to apply the same properties to all of my other center lines. You can do that manually. You can click on each one and then go and do the same steps as for this one. Or you can go to your properties, select match properties, select your first line that you changed as your source, and then you click on all the other lines that you want to change to be that setting. Right, so again, properties, match properties, select your source, and then select the other center lines that you want to change the properties of. So again, I'll demonstrate this time for the hidden lines. So I'll click on one of my hidden lines, type in properties. I'll change the line type to hidden. I'll change my scale to say 10 and my line weight to 0.05. Okay, if I'm happy with that, then I'll close this, go match properties, and select all of my other lines that I want to change to be like that. Yes. 0.05. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so if you selected the wrong property type for the long wrong line. So say you loaded in your options, you entered in center 2. This already has a scale of 0.5 applied to the spacing. So I'll just quickly demonstrate, say for this line here, or no, this line. If your line type that you loaded was in fact center 2 and your spacing was 1, it's even more close together than just regular center. Yeah. See the difference between the two? Center 2 has a scale of 0.5 already applied to that line. So what we're using is we're using just center and hidden and setting our scale appropriately. You just need to reduce your scale. Maybe choose a scale of like 5 or something. Okay, so we've changed the line type and the line weight for our center and hidden lines. Last thing to do is just change the line weight for the outline lines. Now you can select all of those lines manually, or you can just use a Q select. So type in Q select. Change the property to line type and the value to by layer. Click OK and it'll select all of your outline lines. So again, Q select. Change the properties. Right now it's set the color, change it to line type and the value to by layer. Click OK and you select all of your outline lines. Now I'm going to adjust the line weight. So I'm going to change my line weight for my outline lines to 0.8. Okay, I just want to make it clear that because I'm just because I'm using a scale of 12 for my center lines and 10 for my hidden lines, for each one of you, it might vary, okay? You might find that a smaller scale works better for you, right? We won't be checking these things exactly. We will just be seeing whether or not you know how to scale your lines. We'll give the mark for that. Okay, it doesn't have to be exactly 12, doesn't have to be exactly 10. Just so long as you can actually see that it's a hidden line, see that it's a center line, that's all we're looking for. Okay, changing line weight and all that kind of stuff we covered last week, so I won't be going over that again. Once your drawing looks something like this, we can exit the model space and go into our layout and start with the dimensioning. ISO full bleed. That's the wrong size. No. Using ISO full bleed A4. Changing the line type won't change your line weight. You have to change your line weight. Okay, so by selecting lines, if you go to its properties, you'll have to change the line weight of that line in order to make it thicker. And then if it's still not showing, you have to come down to customization, make sure your line weight is turned on, and then turn on your line weights. Sure. And then that's incorrect. This recording will be ending in 3 minutes, and then I'll start a new recording to show the dimensioning style.